Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me today. Guess what? We've got some things. It's not morning. Did you notice it's not morning? I noticed it's not morning. We've got some interesting things that are going on. I hit 5,000 subscribers today. Big deal. Yay, everybody can. Will the applause work? I think I even took the applause off. It's not working because, yay, applause. Okay. Durante hit 7,000 subscribers today. Right? Yay! All right, and then it's also my birthday. It's my birthday. And we're going to do birthday stuff. And we're going to take callers and talk to people and have some fun. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, we're going to do that just in a second. Let's do this.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you're possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
There we are. And we are here with Durante. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Durante?
Oh man, I am making it. I'm glad to be here. Today has been a very interesting day, man.
It has. Now man, our first stream this morning blew up on us. It's better. So far it's going better. We'll see how this one goes. I've got my whole different computer. We may even have callers today to join us and have a little fun. We're gonna celebrate. My birthday is my birthday. I got a cake. And we also have other people who are going to, who have had a birthday. So I'm going to eat their piece of cake too.
Yes.
And then we're going to do that. And then, of course, we're going to celebrate our new subscribers. So that's fantastic. Let me, 7,000 for Durante. Can you guys believe it, man?
Yikes, man.
It has been great. I think everything's going pretty good so far. I'm just keeping an eye out here. Yeah.
No, and can I just say, now for those of you who don't know, my channel has been doing pretty good, but Chris and I have been having some conversations lately, and he gave me some tips. And not only did he give me some tips, he actually gave me some manual help, some manual assistance. And that definitely contributed to this recent video's success. And so I was just telling Chris before we jumped on, because tomorrow night I have a video with Jason from Dragons and Genesis where we're giving some tips for content creators. And I'm like, you know what? We need to do this next month too, because y'all, Chris has a treasure trove of knowledge that he can share. And man, there's no reason why you should be missing out on it. Holy shit. This is the video yesterday that Chris helped me with. It is the top performing video period since we've started producing content. So that's just amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah. I remember he sent me a message going, "Hey, that video we dropped in a couple of hours has already passed all the views from my videos from last Friday." And I was like, cool. And then I watched it overnight, and it was like, I was thinking, okay, now it's past all of his views for this past week. Now it's past all the views for the past month. His videos kicking names and taking ass, man. That's a great one. They work for me, man. They've been building my channel something just fantastic. And yours was a hottie, guys. If you have not seen this video, it is just fantastic. He is going on about himself. Top 10 reasons. I'll let you tell him. You tell him what it is.
Well, I mean, it's just it's top 10 lies that I told when I was a pastor without even realizing that I was telling lies, and it's such a simple concept, but it highlights this very real phenomena that people overlook. And that is, pastors don't exist in a vacuum, right? pastors start as believers. Every pastor, or at least the majority, I'll say, the majority of pastors, they start as people who were indoctrinated first. They believed the lies before they ever started spreading the lies. And so it was being just sharing that information in a very simple context. And I mean, damn, it was just only a 10, 11-minute video.
Yeah.
And just being able to just break it down in those, here's 10 things that we've all had to deal with, that we've all said, that you've heard from pastors, that's become a part of our everyday lives. But these are things that are absolute lies. Like one of the biggest ones was God has a plan for your life. And then you realize how much of a clusterfuck that actually becomes for people psychologically, sociologically, because you become afraid to make decisions for yourself because somebody else has a plan. So why should you have a plan? You having a plan is fucking offensive if the creator has a plan for you.
Very true. I think I've gotten some things fixed here so I can highlight stuff. Shows are going good. I want to mention Patriot TV, Patriot Government TV says, Chris is a good guy like that. Well, thank you.
Ooh.
I want to mention,
Yes.
I'm sitting here that I had been I still have been neglecting doing some of my own work. And my hair's all fucked up because the wife likes my sexy hair. But I've been neglecting doing my own work, and the wife is going, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm writing a script for Durante." She said, "You need to be doing Wild Bill. Where's my Wild Bill?" It's like, "How'd I get to Wild Bill? I'll get to Wild Bill." And then, so yesterday I spent Thursday. Was it Thursday? I spent Wednesday editing your stuff. And
Yes.
as she was watching me do that, she's like, "You're such a sweetie." And then now watching your thing, dude, it's just fantastic, man. It's fantastic. Let me catch up on the chat. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay. There seems to be a lot. We already have a lot of people going. Dan, I gotta say hi to everybody. Patriot Government TV, Dan from Canada, Vic Lit. Thank you, Vic Lit, for joining us today and helping up with the Discord. I appreciate you. Raven Lunatic. You
need
boiling
wiggle
water.
butts.
The wiggle butts. I know. Well, here's the deal. Thank you, Trina. You're a sweetie. Part of our system is not set up. I had to set up computer stuff to make it happen here. So let's see here. I may have missed some chats. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. May you draw Jesus near every day of the year. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. That didn't burn at all.
Interesting.
I recognize sarcasm when I smell it. Robin Webster is here. Hello, Robin Webster has got a fantastic Southern accent. Of course, so does Joe. Have you heard Joe talk? He's got a Kentucky kind of thing going on.
I'm not. I'm interested.
Philo, thank you for joining us. Jesse Bear, Jesse, I don't think the alert works today because I had to literally rebuild the entire show on a different computer. And I just didn't get to the test. What I'm going to have to do is if we get somebody in the chat or somebody who wants to talk, we'll have to just kind of trust you, okay? Matter of fact, we've got somebody here. It looks like a Duck McButt something. McButt stuff. Let's go. I don't know what I'm doing here. Mod view, add friend. Let's see if I can figure out how to bring you up on the stage. He's got his hand. Oh, he came up on the stage. Hello, Duck. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear him?
I can indeed.
Awesome. How's it going, Duck? What's going on today?
Not
Duck
much.
McButt stuff.
Yeah, I was really excited to see you guys launching the live. I've never actually gotten to hear Durante. So, I'm just excited to be on. A little nervous, but I do have I'm excited.
We're nervous too.
Awesome. We are.
I tell you what. All right, hey, Durante, this is his first time hearing you. Do the thing, man. Do the thing. Come on, do the thing. You ready? Do the thing. He's gonna do the thing.
Like, there's so many things that I can do, but I'm assuming.
I'll put him on the spot. Okay, here we go.
I'm assuming it's this thing, which I actually practiced on the other thing that we worked on earlier today.
Okay,
but
good man.
I'll go with the other one, and the other one is you deliberately disobeyed me. But the one that I practiced on earlier that you asked me to do was no, I am your father.
No,
Like I had to go back and watch it.
That's like 10 times better than a Morgan Freeman. I don't know if that's a God voice, but that's 10 times better than like a Morgan Freeman God voice.
Well,
That's
you sound kind of
incredible.
young there. I'm gonna call you Duck if that's okay. Let's go here. Butt stuff.
If you call him Duck, can I call him butt stuff?
You can.
Like, can we do it that way?
I'm putting both in the collar thing here for
Hey,
folks to see.
I'll feel recognized as a person if I get the full name in.
Okay, Duck butt stuff. It's Mick butt stuff. I see. Clearly, you're Irish. I should have known
Which
that from
means
the accent.
son of butt stuff. That's right. That's right.
It's a family tradition.
Oh man, that's a quandary right there.
It is. So we've got Duck McButtstuff. Thank you for joining us as a caller today, and all you wonderful people for dealing with my horrific show. But it's fun, right? Let me just catch up. Duck, people are saying hi to you in the chat.
Oh, hello everyone.
There you go.
I had a question.
Can I ask
though.
you a question, Duck?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Like, I know you have a question. Please don't forget your question, but I do have to ask this. And Chris, you tell me if I'm overstepping. This is your
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Duck, I have to know the backstory behind your name of Duck McButtstuff. There seems that there has to be a story here.
There's a story.
I wish there was. No, I was learning how to Discord, actually in a different one than Chris's Discord. Yeah, I wish I had a more exciting story. People were changing their names, and I was like, okay, if we're doing this and I can one up people here, if this is one of the things I can do, then I got to get that in. And so I changed the name to Duck McButtstuff because I do love ducks. It has nothing to do with Chris Mallard. This is just the name that basically God would have given me if he had me born into a Discord.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Robin Webster asks, "How do we call it?" It's a Discord. I will. If you're into the Discord, we don't have a phone number yet. We're doing some trial runs to see if this is going to be fun. I've got a thing here. Okay, so I've pinned a number up there, and so that way you can use Discord to call in and chat with us there. And what we're going to do real quick, I don't mean to rush. I believe Duck had a question for Durante, and we've got two more people in the with their hands up, ready to visit. So we'll try to do that. And I got cake, by the way.
Yes, I like cake.
And all right, so now, Duck, you have a question.
Yeah, and so I got a serious question. I know, and so I'm sort of a science guy, I'm sort of like a philosopher, but this is still like a real question I have.
Okay.
And so, let's say as an atheist, I have evil in me, but I also don't really believe in evil like that. So how do we handle that? How should I talk about having evil in me? Like something my dad told me is that, look, if you boil a frog, all you get is a soggy toad. So I don't want to recycle Bible verses I don't believe in, but how do we handle something like that?
Okay.
You want to do that?
I want to tackle that. I'm going to tackle that from a different perspective, right? Because evil is something that I still wrestle with. It's a word that I don't like to hear often because when I hear the word evil, it always seems to be an excuse to villainize or dehumanize someone else. And in my own life, it's the other spectrum of good, right? Because that's what we think of. We think of good and we think of evil. And I spent the majority of my life doing things that I 100% believed were good, but none of those things were beneficial to my life. And so I spent a long time having to wrestle with, damn, what's the difference between good and beneficial? And realizing that the word good ended up being very useless to my life because of the many ways that it had been interpreted because of different religious and cultural superstitions. And so in order to find some type of grounding for a way forward, I had to ground myself in a form of beneficiality beneficiality as opposed to just benevolence, right? Because if I just think I'm doing good, it's very easy to convince myself that I'm doing something that's good because I can feel good about it. Other people can feel good about it, but I don't have any data that attaches myself to why this is beneficial. And while I know this is going a little way around it, but I feel the same way about evil. I haven't come to a word that I can replace with it yet. I feel like we kind of need to approach it with the same way, that the word evil is just not good enough to give us a definition of what it is that we're wrestling with. And so I'm kind of there with that. So I definitely feel where that question is coming from, because that was one of the things I had to wrestle with deconverting, because many of the thoughts that I had were thoughts that I would have previously considered were evil thoughts. And that was
Durante, can I ask something? So one of the things, so that this idea that like, okay, there's good and evil, I see that out in the world, like that's a good to remember, not to dehumanize people. Like, and to me, I think of like seeing a news story, seeing stuff on YouTube or wherever. So don't dehumanize people, but then like, what about me, right? You know, like, what do I do as someone who's either non-theistic or anti-theistic or whatever, however I want to describe myself? Like I didn't really get any help in there from my perspective, and maybe that's me, sorry, but like I don't really see talking about my own evil.
Well, see, it will be the opposite end of the spectrum of beneficial, right? So for me, the word good was useless. In the same way, the word evil is useless. It's not descriptive. It doesn't tell me anything. It's more emotional than it actually is descriptive or prescriptive. And so the word beneficial became a better word for me to use than good. So do you know what became a better word for me to use than evil? Harmful. If something that I am doing is creating harm, then that's my concern. If I start trying to chase what's evil, I start chasing an amalgam of superstitions that are not correlated in any type of fact or causation, but are just based in what people may think at the time. But instead, so now I really wrestle with is what I am doing, is it creating benefit or is it causing harm? That's how I deal with the evil within me. Is what I am doing, is it causing harm to anyone? And to anyone, and this is the part that we often wrestle with, that anyone also means myself. Is it causing harm to me?
That sounds to me like I gotta, like, if I actually believe you and I say I gotta go trust this distinction about harmful, and I've got all these toolkits or something, this is what I'm getting from you right now. And that means I gotta go do something. I gotta go wrap myself around that idea, but like, so it's not just about me. It's not, oh, Duck McButt stuff, you know, 1,000 times over or something. It's actually this, you know, I'm a guy off the internet who's going out and saying, look, today, if I got 5 minutes for this, I can go do something a little better or something, instead of focusing on this evil or whatever, you know, religious bullshit I still got vested in me. Like, no offense to anyone, but like, that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Sure. No, I love that. I love it, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that perspective.
Thank you. That's all you, brother. Thank you.
That's awesome. If I can, you know, one of the things evil is, a lot of people, of course, may think is kind of in a way subjective, you know, and I like to put it as evil is like is more of intent, you know, than just something happening. You know, you can knock something off the table. That's not evil. If you knock something off the table and you hurt somebody because you know, as your mom's, you know, husband's urn or whatever, you know, if you hurt somebody and you do it with pain intentionally in your heart, that I kind of feel is like what we would in a way call evil. And that, like Durante was saying, you can control that. You have the power of Grayskull.
Well, Chris, that doesn't do it for me a little bit, just because, like, if I'm doing someone, like, you know, this is my own personal standard, and I wouldn't expect other people to feel this way, but even if I don't intend to hurt someone, I do it anyways, man. I just don't
Oh,
You know, like I said, if you boil a frog, you know, all you get's a soggy toad, right? I don't want to be a soggy toad. I don't know,
that's true.
that doesn't really mean anything, but you know,
Gotcha.
that's kind of the joke that I'm tripping on.
I get you.
Well,
It
you know,
sounds
like
good.
I was recently
Go ahead.
a part of a conversation where someone had said some things previously that were harmful, but they didn't realize that those things were harmful, right? And they were having a hard time apologizing for the things that they said. And I had to have a conversation with the people who were kind of pulling this conversation together, in the sense of like, wow, if they can't even apologize, then that lets you know that the concern isn't there for the harm, right? Because I think
Yeah,
one thing that we forget as
Right.
humans
up as
is
liars,
that it
people-
is, yeah, it's absolutely possible to accidentally harm somebody, right? It's possible. You can accidentally create harm in somebody else's life or generate harm in somebody else's life. Us knowing that as human beings and then being unwilling to apologize is scary for me, right? Because that, and I guess that is where it kind of crosses that line, because, like, you know, just think about it. You can be walking, trip, and then you trip and you fall against somebody else, you push them and they hurt themselves. You didn't intend to harm them in any shape, form, or fashion. But if that person does harm themselves because of a mistake that you made, and you're unwilling to say, oh, that was my bad, I was not trying to harm you, it makes it seem even more harmful, you know? And that was something that we saw in that situation. But that is why I do tend to lean towards that, understanding harm. And kind of like you said, Duck, it's not always about intent. Sometimes you can accidentally harm somebody, but the moment you're aware of that, that intent is back in your, it's back in your ball court. You know, how do they say that? It's back in your court. How do they say that shit? But you know, like once someone has let you know that, hey, this is something you've done and this has created harm for me, and I get it. It's a slippery slope, right? But once that has been kind of acknowledged, you have the capacity to say, hey, I can do something beneficial here. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what my stance is.
So all this taking control of the harm I'm capable of causing, and this should at least give me a little insight into like, you know, I think like I could ask like other questions about evil as an atheist and stuff, but that's like that wasn't on my mind before I got into this. So that's
Wow.
helpful. Or yeah, that's helpful. Cool.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man, that was great, man. I appreciate you getting with us, Duck. And man, Durante, thank you for fielding that, because I'm trying to run all this other stuff in the background. You guys are fantastic.
I see,
appreciate you.
yes.
Duck, unless you've
Yeah,
got
cool,
another
thank you,
thing,
guys.
you're
Nope,
welcome.
I'm gonna hop off.
You're my hero.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up now. All right, bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Duck McButt stuff, which reminds me of Darkwing Duck and Scrooge McDuck, and there's a rich duck. I can't remember who was the rich duck.
That was Scrooge.
I think that was Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, yeah. There was what was that? Wrong Way McDuck.
Oh,
I can't
yes.
remember his name. Yeah. So let's see. I think we have Sapper or whoever was first. I'm not sure who was first. One of you people down there would like to come up and visitate with us. Is that Sapper?
Yep. You got me.
Hey, Sapper, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Come on. Did want to throw a quick shout out to both of y'all. Happy birthday and happy achieving your marks.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that.
And I don't know if you got a chance to see that earlier. You were talking about the lies you told as a pastor video, and I shared that in one of my theist atheist debate groups on Facebook, and got some positive feedback. I took a screenshot and dropped it in the chat for you. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll check that
That's
out.
amazing.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to share both of y'all's stuff in there, especially the ones that you do, Chris, with the top 10 lists that are just so easy and formatted. I dropped one in the same group a couple weeks ago, and I loved how I got a response from a theist that just said, basically tried to like no true Scotsman. You're like saying it was the religions are a scam one, like the all religions are a scam. And the guy, he basically tried to say, oh, well, anyone who's doing that isn't a real Christian. Like, they all do that.
Oh, right.
Like,
that's like their calling card, isn't it? Method of
right?
Yeah. So very cool. Thank you for the share, for helping spread our crazy. Appreciate it.
For sure. Well, you helped me. I got to help back, right? Scratch my back, I scratch yours.
There you go. And remember, wash your hand.
Oh yeah, for God's sake, you don't want to be getting sick like at a Bobert restaurant.
Yeah. If you're gonna scratch my back, at least wash your hand. You got some cooties coming in.
So I do actually want to grab your perspective, both of you, on something. I thought I'd get on here and get a chance to illustrate the fact that atheists are not a monolith. We don't all agree on everything. The only thing we really agree on is that we're not convinced a God exists, right?
Right.
But beyond that, we all have our own individual beliefs and thoughts and feelings about different situations. That's the only thing we all agree on. And I have a philosophy that I adhere to the most, that I like the most. But not all atheists like it. I've had disagreements in the past. So I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on cosmic nihilism.
Oh. Go ahead. Cosmic nihilism. That's fantastic.
I am a cosmic nihilist, and I do have my thoughts, but I wanted to hear yours first.
If I may, I'll just take a brief moment to say, as far as cosmic nihilism, my feelings are, fuck it. Right? Isn't that the basis of nihilism? What the hell? Fuck it.
I mean, I would say that is an oversimplification, but sure.
Yeah, that's kind of I just thought I'd run with that. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Your turn, Durante.
For this, all right. So like, honestly, I'm about this type of foolishness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually do not have an issue with any form of nihilism. And hear me out here, I'm gonna get a little woo here, but because just any state of human being is temporal, right? And it is based off of what we can know at this moment. So when I think of cosmic nihilism, I don't view it as anything that is unreasonable. It is likely probably one of the most reasonable ways to approach the world as we are continuing to evolve. Now, when I think of cosmic nihilism, I mean, like, the universe is unintelligible to us right now, and it should be. Like, we are a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the universe experiencing itself. We have a long way to go. We've separated ourselves through centuries, millennia of cultural superstitions and ignorance, and so I think that has likely played into a lot of this unintelligibleness. But no, so the ideology itself doesn't bother me, but it's also because I do embrace the idea of us being an evolutionary species, in the sense of whoever we are today doesn't define who we are tomorrow or what we will be tomorrow. And because of that, I think that's why I do lean into fiction, because I'm absolutely fascinated by the possibilities that may exist. And it's the embracing of somewhat of that cosmic nihilism that gives us the autonomy and the agency to define lives for ourselves. And so as an atheist, I kind of lean into that.
Well, cool. Yeah, I definitely, Durante, you were echoing a lot of my own thoughts. And if I may take it one step further, for me, when we get down into the fact that we are a speck of dust in the grand scheme of this universe that exists for a speck of time in this grand scheme of the universe, right? our decisions, our choices, our rights and our wrongs do not matter to the universe
At all.
and but some people might think that that is like hopelessness or that that gives me an excuse to do whatever I want, like I just be a jackass and it doesn't fucking matter. But no, I feel like it's the opposite, because the fact that my existence doesn't matter to the universe means that I get to decide what my existence means, that I determine what my impact is on this small speck of dust for this small mote of time.
Sir.
And I find that more liberating than I do despairing.
It's absolutely powerful, man. Like it's shit. It's liberating. That was the perfect word to use. It is liberating. Like people think the idea that, oh, my life doesn't matter outside of this is somehow confining. And it's not. It's the opposite.
You now you don't have a written destiny. You write your story.
Yes.
Very
true.
true.
That feels so good.
Good
Just
point.
thinking about that.
Excellent point. Thank you, Sapper, for that one.
Absolutely.
Well,
that was beautiful.
I appreciate hearing your thoughts and giving me a chance to share mine. I will leave off with saying, always be proud when somebody calls you an apostate, because apostate in Greek means escaped slave.
Yes, I shall take it. I shall take it.
I am down. That's awesome.
Man.
Thank you very much, man. You guys are fantastic. This is awesome. I like this whole not having to do much except run the show. I don't have to talk or I haven't had to show
Chris,
off my
I got
crotch
99 problems and talking isn't one.
No, yeah, you're holding it down there. I see that. That's awesome. Let's see. And I think next.
Hello.
Hey, Ghostface, how are you doing?
Ghostface.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just want to say, Chris, sorry I'm not often in the YouTube live chat. I'm like usually working in the mornings, so I don't
That's no
often get to
excuse.
see your show. Yeah, excuses.
Thank
It's
you.
an awesome show. It's an awesome show. I got to be there more often. But Durante, the one thing that I think about whenever I see content like yours, ex-pastors and stuff like that, what I think of is like, how can somebody go from believing and completely teaching it to and then going into a non-belief? And it's just like kind of like puzzles me, because I input that part of like the Christians suppose that it's the truth, but if it's the truth, why do people leave it, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. And I had two immediate thoughts, and they both exist in this kind of same realm. Number one, it's like being born again, and number two, it's like being resurrected. And like when you think about the whole story of the Gospels, Jesus is teaching the people that the way you were born, the information you were born on the first time was bad, right? And that you need to be born again in order to understand life. That's what deconversion is like for a pastor, is that you realize that the information you've been living off of is bad. And that's what it was for me. In 2014, I deconverted. And in 2014, I was one of those pastors who I lived my life in accordance with abstinence. I lived my life in accordance with trying to live by the word of God in every way that I could. And though I had done all these good things, my life was still falling apart. And it was very clear that I didn't have an understanding of reality. And so what needed to happen in 2014 for me is that I needed to be born again in reality. And so now I think it's easier for pastors to deconvert because I had 2 decades of experience of God not showing up. 2 decades of experience of making excuses, whether they were excuses for what God didn't do for me or for excuses for what God didn't do for my members. But after 2 decades of those excuses, all I had left was the truth. And I had to deal with the reality of the fact, like, hey, bruh, these were all excuses, and now you need to be willing to wrestle with that. And so it was very much like being born again and being willing to die, being crucified, and being resurrected, coming back as a new creature, because it was something different. But I often tell people, the entire time I spent in ministry, I was in ministry on faith. I was in ministry on credit. From the moment I joined the faith, I believed God by faith. I believed that one day this God would demonstrate to me beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt that this God was this God. After over 2 decades in ministry, I had to realize that this God had never paid that debt. And so even though I had been given all of this credit, this God had never paid me back. And so actually, like, after you go through it in that way, it's really easy to deconvert if you're willing to wrestle with that honesty. But it is a whole death, Ghostface. It is a whole death, because you have to die to everything you presented yourself as. You have to die, because there were several times that I knew that God wasn't speaking to me, but I would tell people that God said. And then I'd also have members who said God was speaking to them on Sundays, but when they're in my office on Tuesdays, they're saying, Pastor, why doesn't God speak to me? So by the time I deconverted, it was just having to wrestle with the reality. And it was almost like being a kid, realizing that, hey, there is no Santa Claus. This is just your mom and daddy, and they broke. That's why you didn't get Christmas this year.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, personally, like, I feel like with my own journey and stuff like that, I don't think I really believed too much in the faith. So the no true Scotsman fallacy, which was mentioned earlier, doesn't really affect me that much, but it still does pain me to hear other people that actually put in more work than I did with my own faith, to be going through that after they deconverted, and then they get told, well, you weren't a true Christian anyway. And I still remember that when I was like depressed and I was having some of those really bad thoughts, that I wanted to know, like, hey, if I'm still here, then there's probably a reason why I'm still here. God probably still has me alive for a reason. Like, he hasn't hit me with a big old semi going 70 miles per hour. But it's like, you don't get the one thing that you're looking for. You come into Christianity for some who didn't grow up with it because they're looking for somebody that they can look up to as like a fatherly figure, somebody that they can look up to and have love be received because they've had a hard time. But for me, like, as soon as I left Christianity, I started getting a little bit better. I got out of depression, got more into delving deep within, and I found that all I ever wanted was already deep within. I personally have lost my own biological mother, and then my stepmother. She has been a little bit harsh, but I know that she cares a lot about me. But back when I was depressed, I felt like I wasn't understood very well. But then when I looked within, I realized that with my own actions that I became the mother that I've always wanted, somebody who's understanding,
beautiful.
somebody who supports other people, somebody who cares for other people. And I realized I can use that gift to help so many other people. I don't
Yes.
need Christian values to obey this one being to automatically be a good person. It's always about the heart, because you could be a
Yes.
Christian and have a terrible heart. You know, you could be hating on different races, you could be hating on the LGBTQ plus, but on the flip side, you could be an atheist, or you could be somebody like me who believes in inner divinity and go, well, I don't serve a God, but I love these people because of who they are, not
Yeah.
what they are.
Yeah. Man. You know, like Ghostface and Chris, I just want to add to that. Like, one of the things, and just hearing you kind of share that, one of the things that happened for me after deconversion is not only did I separate from the idea of God the Father, I grew up with an absent father as well, who I had a semi relationship with. Once I deconverted, I was also able to separate from this person too, in a way that didn't make sense to a lot of people in my life, but it was that final way of me saying, hey, there's nothing fucking wrong with me. Don't have a hole that somebody else needs to fill. And if you're not going to be who you need to be, I don't need you there. And I don't know why, just you sharing that just kind of took me there and reminded me of that thing, because that was a part of my deconversion journey as well. It's just like, once you separate from this idea of an absent father, it helps you start putting other relationships in your life in perspective. That if you're going to be here, be here. And if you're not, don't. Because I have no room for illusions.
Awesome.
Oh, man, I love it.
Any person that just wants to have a relationship with you should be putting in the time to make a conversation with you, be present in front of you. But dealing
Yes.
with a person that you don't know if it exists, but a bunch of other people know that this person exists, and there's so many other people that believe different things about this person, but they themselves haven't met this person, and they use this cryptic text of a scavenger hunt sort of thing to figure this person out. That's not a relationship I'm willing to chase. But
Yeah.
that's like not the main bit that I'm concerned with my deconversion from Christianity. I take a look at the actual relationship that he has with his people, and I really don't think that somebody who really loves all would teach violence to his own people, to choose one small group to spread his truth if he really wants everyone to know about him. Of course, play devil's advocate, and you'd see his ways are higher. He works in mysterious ways. You could take the universalist idea that, hey, everybody actually goes to heaven and nobody goes to hell, sort of thing. But I feel like those are really just excuses.
Yep.
Yes. That's great. Ghostface, for the call there. I wonder if a lot of people feel the same way, going from a person of faith. I mean, I know mine wasn't. I don't guess I was ever. It was never a part of my identity, being a person of faith. I was so a slacker. I was never a good church person. So, but I bet there are a lot of people who really feel it's like like Brother Durante said, it's like being reborn. It's like being resurrected as a new person. Awesome sauce. Let me real quick. I want to say thank you for coming up. We got another person. Robin's going to join us in
No
just a
problem.
moment. I want to say hello to people in our chat. Master Pastor, Master Maverick. You're right. I'd make an excellent pastor. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start being a pastor and leading the Christians away from the faith. I want to be like a serpent pastor.
That's right.
Serpent. So that's awesome. Oh, thank
The
you.
Bishop of New Mexico.
There you go.
He's the atheist Bishop of New Mexico.
So we got Robin, I think, is going to come up and join us. All right, I saw a thing here. I know how to do this. I'm going to try. Oh, Robin went to sleep. Did we lose Robin?
Come back, Robin. Wake up.
Dismiss.
Don't go into the light now.
I thought I knew how to get him over here. Request to speak. Robin, are you still there? Robin, Fofobin, Banana Fana. Oh, yeah, hand up, it says.
If I'm a mobbing.
I don't know how to move her up on the stage. I'm trying here. Let's see.
Oh, let me see.
Robin is there. She is invited. Oh, I think she may have stepped away for just a moment. All right. Well, we'll talk. Jesse Bear is looking for some Ollie Dog, but Ollie Dog is not here. He's out with the evil one. The evil one's actually in the chat. Jesse, I don't know if you saw this or not.
Ooh.
The evil one is actually in the chat speaking. I invited my twin brother to watch the show, and I sent him a text message, and my younger brother. I invited him as well. There's Robin. Let's see. How's it going, Robin? Looks like your mic is off. Muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I did.
We can hear you now. You hear that
Yes.
accent? You already hear it, huh?
Yes.
I'm having all kinds of phone trouble, but I want to thank Scotty for helping me as much as he did. He did a lot. And happy birthday, Chris. And
Thank you.
Durante, it's really nice to finally get to talk to you. We have some
Well, thank you.
common friends, Dr. J and Maya. And,
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Those
Thank
are
you.
my buds.
Yeah. And I'm so happy y'all going to be at the protest. Yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be great. That is awesome. So I'll get to meet everybody in person there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're talking about the Ark Encounter protest.
Yes.
Ark Encounter in
Yes.
Kentucky.
Yes.
That is all. I
Yes.
am looking forward for
Yeah, I
those
live
of
in
you.
Kentucky.
Oh, I can tell.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, the Ark Encounter protest is July 6th this year in what city is it in?
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg. Okay, Williamsburg, Kentucky. And I will be
Yeah.
the MC of the event. I'll be introducing the speakers and having a good time. Durante, I did it right. Look at that. He will be one of the speakers. We sucked him into going with us. The Rainbow
They do
Love asked the question, what's the date? The date is the 6th, I'm sorry, the 6th of July.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. I'm planning on trying to dress up as Pebbles.
Hell
Ooh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
I should dress up.
I don't
as
know how many
Pebbles.
listeners know, but there are a lot of celebrities from Kentucky. Like, there are so many celebrities from Kentucky. It is incredible.
Desi,
Loretta Lynn,
that's
I'll
on the
take you back
Daily
there.
Desi on the Daily Show, Jon Stewart's show.
Uh-huh.
She's from Kentucky.
Yes.
She's from Louisville.
Yep.
That
Oh, man.
is awesome. I did not know that. Well, so you are going to be at the event. Is anybody else in the chat planning on being at the event? Because I'm looking forward to having a good time. Also, we're going to do
Yeah,
Bridge
I think
City
it'll be
Global.
fun.
How many you do this every year? Y'all been doing it since 2018, is that right?
Yeah, I haven't been but once.
Oh, I see.
What was funny was I went one year. The day I went, my mom and my sister went and toured the Ark, and we didn't even plan it that way.
Oh, really?
It just happened
wow.
that they were going there that day. So my sister had told me to turn around when she drove past my mom with my mom in her car.
That's crazy. I'm kind of looking forward. Well, I'm looking forward to a lot of it. Can you imagine? I've seen it. I've just never been there. I saw this thing on the YouTubes yesterday. Is a new drop video that they had dropped, and there's this guy. His name is Tim. He's 6'8" tall, and he's like one of the workers there, and he's really into it. I'm like, dude, you sound so smart.
Yeah,
and then
it's
you start.
sad.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, especially my
Yeah.
tax dollars going for that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yikes.
Absolutely. That's
But
what's that sound in the
I
background?
want. I'm actually in my truck, my big truck.
Oh.
I haul milk. I'm sorry if it's making too
Ooh.
much noise.
No,
But
it's
I
fine. It
wanted
sounds
to-
like you're working a cash register.
No, it's my truck bouncing. I want to tell Ghostface that I love the way they put that about chasing the relationship with God, because that
Mhm.
perfectly puts that perfectly explains what we do when we're
Yeah.
trying to have a relationship with God. We're always chasing. You know what I mean? And he never comes out and never exposes himself, and we're always chasing something that we can never find.
Yep.
Man,
Very true. And
you're
they
not
put it
wrong.
well.
Like when I was a pastor, like I was a worship leader as well, and like I wrote a song, and the thing that I bragged about was being a God chaser. I am chasing after God. And it's only now, like being on this side, where you realize how ridiculous that sounds. Like, imagine being a child, being a parent chaser, that I'm always having to chase my parent. That is absolutely sickening. That's not great.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's
man.
like he's running from us all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Although I don't think he's doing anything myself. So
Hiding, playing hide and seek is what he's doing.
yeah.
Hide and seek champion of the world, man.
That's right. Very true. For the last
And Chris,
2,000 years.
before I go, I'll say I love the goat commercial and the what's the other one? The peep, something about
Pharaoh's
burns my
curse.
peep. Yeah, the
That's
Pharaoh's
right.
curse. I love it.
Mi burrito
That's
está
awesome.
bueno. Yes.
I sung that song all day today. So
Did
thank
you really? Well, thank you. Yeah, it's available. I mean, I did it. I can't believe I did it. I wrote the lyrics. Yeah, I did the music and stuff. And then to take it that step further, put it on iTunes and make it for sale and all that. It's freaking awesome.
Man.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. You got some funny stuff you work up. I
Yeah,
like
and
it.
I've got more. The wife is just really after me to start. I got to get Bill. More Bill for you. Everybody wants more Bill.
Yes.
And then, of course, we got our Pharaoh Sombrero commercials for the, Father Flanagan's line of Pharaoh Sombrero condoms. And then we've also got our Father Flanagan's Blame Eve line of feminine hygiene products that we're working on as well. So,
Yeah, I remember that. Y'all, there's a lot of good ideas in chat every morning I see. So
yes.
a lot of good
Chris
ideas.
needs to be doing entire sketch shows. I don't know why Chris doesn't have a Friday Night Live or a Saturday Night Live yet, because he needs to be doing entire sketch shows. He has the creativity and the genius for it, for sure.
Well, you got to be a Christian to get anything in this country,
Ah, got you.
They don't like
Oh,
atheists on TV much. But
Understood.
thank y'all for all y'all do. I appreciate it so much. And I want to say hi to Duck, because I know him too. And he was on there a while ago. So,
Awesome.
and
Thank you.
I love everybody,
awesome.
and can't wait to meet y'all at the art protest.
Thank you. Be safe
We
out
all
there with
love
your...
ducks and butt stuff.
We do. Be
I
safe,
couldn't
Robin.
resist.
Be safe.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I will.
Gotcha. All right. Let me do a thing. I'm teasing Scotty here. Thank you, Scotty, for letting me know about the stuff. Pragmatic humanist is idiot test. I know. That's cool.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go back over here just to make sure we don't have any other hands up or anything. Everybody looks groovy. So real quick, while we've got some people, if you don't mind, do you want to, because we've been talking about the Ark Encounter protest. That's fantastic. But we do have the Bridge City Global weekend coming up in April that we need to kind of chill out.
Yes.
Let me hide that real quick.
Man. So
There we go.
it's like literally in April 19th and April 20th, We're coming together as a community to do something incredible in the city of Raleigh, North Carolina, and that's to just celebrate people-centric community. And it is an audacious vision. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just something we just decided we wanted to do because we've been growing like crazy. And honestly, like when you do the research, when you do the conversations, when you do the talks, what is it that people are saying they're missing? Community.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to create. And so in April, we're all converging in Raleigh. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some food. We're going to have some conversations. Chris is going to be there. He's going to be a part of our Bible study with the next pastor, which we're thinking about rebranding because Chris has so many ideas and they're not bad ideas. And
okay. Gotcha.
You know, and then we're also giving Chris his own spot because like there's something he said to me like it may have been a week ago, war of attrition. And when he said those words, which is it's a militaristic term, but when he talked about it in the sense of what we're doing, I was like, holy shit, this needs to be a conversation. So if you're anywhere in the southeast area of the United States, I would encourage you to try to make it to this event. Registration is free. We are doing our best to make this event absolutely free, which means we need your support, right? We need your support. But the reason we want to make it free is because if we, as the secular community, expect to spread, there cannot be a paywall. If we expect to win the war of attrition, there cannot be a paywall to the events that we're having. It has to be open. People have to be able to connect. And so that's what we're trying to do. And so we'll have those descriptions, those links and all of that shit available to you. But if you're excited about actually making a difference, and let's realize it, like in this country right now, fascism is kind of on an uptick.
It really is.
And so it's really it is, man. So it's our responsibility and obligation to do something on the other end, and creating events that are people-centric, progressive thinking, and life-affirming is one way that we can make one hell of a difference without even letting the other folks know what we're doing. And so if you're interested in that type of shit, check us out, because I promise you this is going to be incredible. Chris, did I do that justice?
You did great. You did great. You're doing fantastic. You might actually make a hand at this one of these days. Well, here's the thing. Well, I appreciate that it's a free event, but the people all know that this is a groundwork and that so there are ways to financially help if you need to, go over to Durante's
Thank you,
stuff.
sir.
I shield him financially more than he shields his own self financially. I'm like, go give him money, man.
He does.
He's like,
He does.
community, we're community and all that. I'm like, to hell with that. Give him money. But it's going to be a thing. We're going to build. I'm going to be there. I would like to think they'll be able to get some other speakers and other things going on. We're going to have a little bit of an event.
Yes.
It's going to be, it's going to be fun. So, yeah, I'm looking forward. And we're already gearing up to get our airplane tickets. And like I was trying to, get with you, we just trying to find a place to get what side of town do we need a hotel? I'd like to hotel.
Because Raleigh's so big.
Yeah. Now you're not from Raleigh, right? You're from somewhere else.
No, Alabama. I'm 2 states down.
Gotcha.
3 states down.
Why Raleigh?
Ooh. Well, see, actually, Raleigh is just the first, right? So it's Raleigh, and then it's Detroit, and then it's Chicago, and then it's Portland, and then it's San Francisco, and then it's LA. And the way that this happened, and Chris, this is an incredible question. The way that this happened is that we've been tracking where our support has been coming from since we've been growing as a community. And so we have a map, and that's why we always ask, hey, where are you watching us from? And the Raleigh, North Carolina area has such a hub of supporters that was the closest place to start. It's relatively close. But now, ever since we've announced it, Georgia has been jealous as fuck because they're like, why are you over skipping us? And I'm like, hey, y'all weren't as loud before that.
That's right.
But like, honestly, and I told you I've been having panic attacks all week, because I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna make this happen. But like honestly, Chris, and I think you've known me long enough to know now, like I believe in this, man. Like
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is the way forward, and if we can make this happen, it's what we need, especially considering what's going on politically in this country.
Absolutely. You know, there are a lot of things that we need to do. One of the things, your little community gatherings around the country, I think is fantastic. For those who don't know, John, by the way, when is all this going down? April 19th and 20th in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's the first.
Yay.
Oh, thank you. Bridge City. That's right. Ford Bridge City. That's right.
I love that.
We do have a lot going on in the world. We've got these, you're building an atheist church network kind of situation. I think it's fantastic. There's so many people out there who have left the faith, who miss the community, the feeling, the sense of fellowship, you know, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And you and what you've
Yes.
got going on really provides that. And I just like the opportunity to get up and be a narcissist and talk in front of people.
Hey, don't we all?
Apparently so. We have a thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That it's going to be such a great time. And I'm actually seeing if I'm going to be on. Now, are you going to have me on your show tomorrow? No pressure.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think you said you're doing the opening tomorrow, right?
If you're down, I'll love to do the opening. That's fine. Easy
I
responsibility.
am always down. I'm always down. And okay, so like Chris and I, we've had a few conversations. We haven't had as many conversations as we'd like, but we've had a few. But Chris is like pretty much, like I said earlier, he's the bishop of New Mexico. So he's like, at this moment, he is the Bridge City apostle of New Mexico's atheism. So that's Chris Mallard. So pretty much anything we're doing, because like actually last time you were on an opening with us, you said the words before I could even say it, and he said, you know, I'm here. This is our sister network, and that's how I treat Chris. That's how he treats me, and that's how I treat him, because that's what mutual relationship is. Any way that he's willing to treat me, I'm willing to treat him, and he's been an incredible assistant, and an incredible assistance, an incredible help, an incredible partner, and I'm glad to have him. You know, I'm glad to be working with him. I'm glad to help him in anything he's doing, because he's helped me unreservedly at this moment in ways that I couldn't even count. And so, like, damn, like, yeah. Like if there was people willing to start a Bridge City campus in New Mexico, Chris would be the apostle of that campus. That's how that shit is going down.
John Hudson said he identifies as the Pope of Texas. He would be the Pope of Texas.
I love that, John.
Yeah, I'm down too myself. You know what? I'm going to go get a drink real quick. I'm going to run a commercial for our people over here. Maybe the Pharaoh's sombrero. The people on Discord won't be able to watch that. I'm sorry. But for your entertainment, people on Discord, for the next few moments, you will get to see an empty chair.
This is just in time, because I need to go to the restroom as well.
There you go. Here we go. We got some Pharaoh sombrero. If you're new to the channel, enjoy. Here we go, my friends.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
But it's easy to
right.
watch both. It's easy.
It is. Thank you, Raven Lunatic, for the $5 super chat. Oh, looky here, guys. Look at what the. Oh, I want to need a plate, and I want to. Are you leaving? The evil one has appeared,
Plates.
and she has brought me
Ooh.
a cake. I'm not gonna slide it off onto the. So this is a happy birthday for me and Raven, and I think Robin and Vic Lit, and all of you wonderful people out there who are also celebrating your birthday. I just want you to know ahead of time, I am going to eat your piece of the cake. But
Man.
thank you. Here you go. She's hiding away from the camera. I don't think they can see you. All right. So thank
Chris, I don't know if
you.
I've actually said this, but officially, happy birthday, man. Like, happy fucking birthday. And what an incredible one it must be. You hit some goals this week.
We did.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
That's right. What a happy
Yes.
birthday. It has been great. I mean, we've done the thing. We've done the thing. We've done the thing. I hit 5,000 subscribers. Man, I'll tell you, it has been a lot of work getting here. Hey, Sapper's back. Let's get Sapper back up here while we wait for another possible caller. Not that he's not a caller.
Hey.
Ah,
I just
There he
came up to say the cake is a lie.
the cake is indeed a lie. If you're familiar with the cake is a lie, the cake is indeed a lie. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's
I like it.
hilarious.
I love Portal. Have you played Portal, Durante?
For the people who are
I
still
have not.
alive.
Yeah, it's a great. Are you familiar with Portal at all, Durante?
I'm not.
Oh man,
This
it
is
a
new to me.
fantastic game. You can get it on Steam for like no dollars. It's stupid cheap, and it's wonderful.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
I like
I'm-
no dollars. Those are
and if
my
you-
favorite dollars.
They're the kind. If you guys thought I wasn't really going to sit here and eat this cake in front of you, you were wrong. I'm gonna. Happy birthday!
I am
to me.
glad that the video is glitching out for me right now. All I see is spinning circles in Discord where your video should be.
Oh no, it should be going good. Does it
Oh
work
no,
for
it's
you?
on my end. No, it's on my
Oh,
end.
it's your-
It's on my end. I'm on my phone, so it's just not loading your screens.
Well, I tell you, man, these love handles do not maintain themselves. It takes effort, dedication, willpower.
Well, I really hope somebody else does want to come up. I just was filling some time and making stupid jokes about Portal.
Thank you.
So I will come back down.
Perfect. All right, Vic, get up here, Vic. Have some birthday cake with me.
I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday from me and Marty's. Oh, he just bumped the mic. All right. Marty's here wishing you a happy birthday as well.
Oh, hi, Marty. Marty the cat,
and,
right?
That's my cat. Charlie, I think the Jack Russell, I think he's currently eating dinner. Yeah, Did
Thank
anyone
you.
sing you happy birthday yet?
Not yet. I mean, I've been all sad. I'm sad because nobody's.
Well,
I'm
we have to
sad.
fix that.
Very sad.
Ooh.
Well, here
No.
we go.
Okay, here we
Happy,
go.
happy birthday from all of us to you. And since it's nearly your birthday, let's sing the good song too.
That's fantastic.
Okay,
That's awesome.
okay.
Thank you. That's all. We're all dancing. Thank you very much for becoming a member, Robin Webster. I appreciate you. That's wonderful. Now you get to join us on Sci-Fi Saturday and all that other ones. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Oh, and Robin says her birthday is in May, but thanks. Well, that's okay. Anybody that wants to celebrate their birthday, you can celebrate it because I'll eat your piece of cake too.
Robin, mine is in May too, so I'll be there with you.
Oh my goodness.
And he's going to be
what
like
part of
9
May
years
is on
old.
the
This guy's a baby. He's a freaking baby.
I am. Unfortunately, this is true. This is true. I am younger than I appear.
We got a lot of May birthdays coming up here.
We do.
Yes.
Robin, I think. Was it Robin? It wasn't Robin. It was Rainbow. Rainbow had a birthday. Lots of people had birthdays. Raven Lunatic had a birthday. That was the day he was hatched.
Ooh.
Ryan Coltastic, a very merry unbirthday to you. All right. Good morning. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm so used to saying good morning. Hi, Ryan. How are you doing? I'm eating your piece of cake. Ryan. Just in case you didn't know.
Well, you guys have a lovely show. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining us, Durante. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Yay.
It really is.
I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to be here.
Kelly says his birthday is next week. Thank you, Vic, for popping up. Kelly's birthday is next
Ooh,
week.
Awesome, Kelly.
And then, like I said, Raven Lunatic just turned 53, the same age as me.
Man,
I know. Now,
am I the
real quick,
youngest person in this community at this moment?
you
Is
very
that what's
much-
going on here?
That's possible. You and Ryan. Ryan's crazy young. I think so. And, I gotta say, man, I want to go, Jessie Bear's in her teens and this person over here is real young, but then I stop and think, and like Jessie Bear's got 3 kids and she's all married and grown. I've like seen their pictures and they look so young in their pictures, and I'm like, oh, they can't be, you're not that old. You're not that, you can't be that old. Kelly is indeed that old though. And Kelly, you know what? You said your birthday is next week. Was that what you said? All right, I get to eat your piece of cake now.
Well, Rainbow
no.
says they're a few years younger than me. Okay, so good. I don't have to feel like the Padawan here.
Oh no. That's say you're not the only paddle. You're not the only youngling. Well, Right-Handed Sith, the younglings. Right-Handed Sith turned 53. That must have been a good year for Nookie. I'm just saying. Jessie Bear says, eat a big
Nookies and
slice for
Wookies.
me. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jessie Bear just turned 36. So I get to eat a slice for her.
What
Jessie
type of
Bear.
cake is it, Chris? You haven't told us that. Like, what's the flavor of the cake?
Okay, let's do this. It's got some tasty right up here, and then over here it's got the delicious part right there. So it's tasty and delicious.
You know what? I think there actually is a brand called Tasty Delicious Cake. I think that is a brand.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so there's this white cake. It looks like regular standard white cake. And then I think it's blueberry because it's purple.
Ooh,
I think it's blueberry. It's got like a layer of blueberry. It's like, this is you won't make it to your 70s delicious. I mean, but I ain't scared. I'll eat on a live stream. Scott Duke.
I love it.
Scott Duke, and there was the other Scott, the guy, Scott, who was debating. Scott. Oh, man, if you're still watching, Scott, I was watching your stuff last night. before you went to the debate. Scott, oh man, Mark Reed. Mark, I was watching your stuff, man. Good luck. I hope your debate went well for you last night. I was watching your stuff. I'm eating cake. So, for those of you who don't know, and many of you do know, oh my, would you like a piece of cake?
Everybody likes cake.
What
does everybody want?
Cake. Do I want you to take it? No. Okay,
I hope somebody gets that reference. If nobody gets that reference in the chat, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
The evil one was after my cake, so I wasn't sure. What was going on?
Man.
Okay, yeah, so today I hit 5,000 subs. Right at about 4 o'clock. I think we're almost to 5,100. It's growing pretty good at a pretty good clip.
Ooh.
Yesterday,
Yes, sir.
I dropped a video. It did good. Yesterday, my buddy here, Durante, also dropped a video. He has hit 7,000 subs. So we are not only having a 5,000 sub party. Oh, I see why she did that. That way I don't eat the whole cake. Because I was going to just keep taking piece after piece. This whole, you want me to put it up for you, was a trick. And I fell for it. What the hell? All right. I'm almost done. Here we go. How rude. But
I love it.
I will make up for being rude by giving you Ollie. Well, hi. What are you doing, little man? Are you in here with
Ollie fans?
Time for the Ollie fans.
Ollie fans deserves a whole jingle.
There's our Ollie fans. Ollie dog. There we go. There's my cute little puppy. Oh my goodness. He's like, Papa, put me the F down.
Ollie oxen free.
Yeah. There's our pup. Cake always wins. So I did see Jesse Bear earlier begging for some Ollie. It's just he was far away, but now that he's not far away, awesome. So now we were talking earlier. I think I got distracted. I thank you for your kind words. What you were saying about how I was concerned about your working yourself to death. And now, with any luck, I think we may have found some pacing, hopefully some things that will make your life a little bit easier. Durante was just working himself in the ground. I'm like, man, stop. Oh, goodness gracious, man.
Yes.
And then that day I was like, oh, let's talk to Durante, and you were sick and everything. It's like, man, you need a break. So,
oh man.
Good. So damn Wigglebutt Zone, thank you for that. Looks like our chat's got its own ways going on. Ollie's over there digging. And I'm just checking to see if we got anything else. Okay. Very cool. So with you guys we've got tomorrow. Let's talk about your show tomorrow. You've got your Sunday sermon session. What do you call it? I don't mean to keep renaming your damn shows, brother. What's the Sunday called?
I'm not mad at it. We just call them Sunday sessions, but like it's just our conversation series, you know. And so we've been in a series called Unluckwittable, learning how to turn the tides of marginalizations and how to just find strength and resilience and authenticity in your everyday life. And so we've had some fascinating conversations over the past few weeks, and tomorrow we're having a conversation about resilience and learning how to bounce back no matter what it looks like. Awesome. And that's something that I've had to live with for the, like literally, people see what they think of as success, right? And so like they see the growth of our channels and stuff, and they think, oh man, you guys must be living the lives. And honestly, every day I'm having to bounce back from the idea of feeling like a failure. Every day I'm having to bounce back from the feeling like I'm not doing enough. Yeah. Every day I'm having to bounce back from the feeling like this is not making an impact. And so I think tomorrow's conversation is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And that's really what we try to do in our Sunday sessions, is just remind people that we're all more than atheists. We're all out here trying to make a difference in the world that we live in. that hopefully makes it a little easier for the rest of us, you know?
You also have so you have your own live stream tomorrow, but you're going to be on the line tomorrow as well. Is that the Line
Oh
podcast?
shoot, like now that you mention it, like tomorrow is busy as fuck, and I didn't plan it to be that way, but it works out that way.
Yeah.
So tomorrow afternoon at 12 Central, we have our Sunday sessions. And then at 5 Central, we're having a content creator conversation with Jason from Dragons and Genesis. And then at 7 Central, I'm going to be on the line on their Sunday show After Dark. And so it's just like, oh man, like which again, just kind of circling back to what you said, what you were just talking about a few minutes ago, when you were like, when I said you were one of the few people who were actually concerned about how much I'm burning myself out. Like when I looked at tomorrow's schedule, I was like, how the fuck did I do this? How did I set this shit up?
Yeah.
And mind you, people don't remember, I have 4 kids and I have a full-time job, and I don't work at Walmart. I have a corporate career. I'm salaried. So I don't work 40 hours a week. I work 65 hours a week. And so this shit is killing me.
Yeah.
Oy.
And I didn't really think about that before I hooked you up with like, what, 4 to 5 hours of live streaming today. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you wasn't doing nothing.
But you know what? Like, no, like I didn't mind it because like, Chris, you have unashamedly and unapologetically been a part of our Sunday sessions for 2 weeks in a row.
That's not
with nothing. Like you haven't asked anything from us, and you've been an incredible supporter. So like this was easy for me to do. Again, at the end of the day, that's partnership. Yeah. For me not to have said yes to this would have been stupid in my mind. It just would have been bad math. So no, I'm honored to be here right now.
Well, you know, there's other things, you know, you do have a lot going on. I got a lot going on. I got the evil one in there. I just happen to have wanted to do a 5,000 stream party. Scotty got me hooked up on doing this call-in thing. And it's been fun. I've enjoyed talking to people. It has been enlightening. Listening to them. We're not really ready for it tech-wise, you know, and we're not solid. Yeah. No guarantee we'll keep doing it, but it's been fun. But the opportunity to do the 5,000 stream, and then as I was watching you, I've been stalking your channel for the last day or so, watching your numbers go up. I thought, is he going to hit 7,000 today? Look at that shit. He's going to hit 7,000. So we hit, between the two of us, it's a solid 12,000. We're getting there.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But like, I want everybody who's listening, I want you to think about what he just said. He said between the two of us, like if we retreated into our own silos, it would just be 5 and 7. But because we see ourselves as partners, because we see ourselves as the same team, we see that as 12,000. And that's what I'm hoping that many of you who are watching right now, that you tie into, that we don't have to be these scattered collectives. We could be one powerful fist making a difference. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In this world. And that's absolutely what I love about Chris's personality and his approach to this work.
I have a fun time. Well, really, you know, I just want to have a good time. I make fun. We have a good time. I'm doing the Daily Atheist morning show, but you know, this world, you keep mentioning this world, and man, this world is going crazy. And it's hard to not say anything. You know, there's so much going on. It's hard to keep my mouth shut. And we're doing this. I talk about the war of attrition. We're going after the Christians to pull them away so they don't get their vote to the right-wing MAGA crap. But how long can we keep our mouths shut about the things that need to be said in the, you know what I mean? How long before Chris is popping up a stream going, hey, tomorrow we're going to talk about Trump and just politics all freaking day long and just go off, you know, because I don't want to ruin the morning show with it, you know, but yeah. It's just, we can't keep quiet with what's going on in the world, you know. And let me do this real quick. I think here in a second, what I'm going to do, because I've been streaming all day, you've been streaming all day, I've been rebooting the thing. I'm going to go ahead here in just a few minutes and shut it down. And we'll go enjoy the rest of our weekend. You can get a little bit of a break. Tuck Frump, thank you, Bill Cass. Thank you for showing up, Bill. Nice to see you. my numbers are not right on my stream again, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. There you go. Awesome sauce. And I'm gonna run one of these. Let me give them some goats here, real quick.
Let's do the goats.
There we go. I don't think that we've given
Which I
them
always
goats.
think of Thor, Love and Thunder. Every time I hear the
know.
goats.
Yeah.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
And it's just like, it's leaning into entertainment. You know, Tyler Perry built an entire empire just leaning into the entertainment aspect of what people in his culture were looking for. And I think that's what secularists need to lean into. Christians did a great job of leaning into that. That's why they have movies like The Prayer Room, The War Closet, and whatever the fuck else, Left Behind, and all that shit. And it's really high time that secularists and humanists start leaning into, you know, like whether it's comedy, whether it's drama, whatever the fuck, like we need to lean into that creative aspect.
Yes. And that's kind of my thinking. I just can't help it myself. Once I embraced just trying to be funny on the show, not even trying to be funny, just embraced not trying to be serious. It found me, you know, it's made it so much easier. We have a question from the chat. I'll let you, we'll both kind of hit it. It's from Jesse Bear. Jesse asks, before we go, what is the funniest or most ridiculous thing a theist has said to you since leaving the church?
Ooh. Damn,
I think
since leaving the church.
I'll go real quick. I'll just say that I had a lady one time, whenever I told her I was an atheist, she crossed herself and stepped back. And that was I think that's probably been the most surprised I was by someone doing something. I was like, I'm an atheist. And I'm like, oh, like you're of the devil. Yeah. Like, okay. But I didn't hurt at all. All right, you go on. Can you think anything specific?
Man. Oh, like it's interesting because like since I've deconverted, I think because of the type of believer that I was, people have not really wanted to talk to me about it. Like people who knew who I was before then, there was only one person who did, and the weirdest moment that I had was them trying to convince me that something was wrong with me, because I wouldn't agree that God killing all humanity during Noah's ark was a good thing. And like there was a person like in my house, they used to be a musician for me when I was a pastor. They wanted to fight me because I couldn't consider God good for killing innocent children in Noah's ark. And that was an odd moment, but honestly, since I've deconverted, Christians don't like talking to me at all. Yeah. They don't want to come in my space.
I don't normally engage them really. I've had a few fun little debates around some pizza with some friends of mine, but I don't tend to talk to them that much really. Jesse Bear says, I got called a Jezebel and hoe for never getting my kids baptized by a random dude at the local non-believer groups. Tent at the fair.
No,
just
like
really?
The standards of Jezebelism has been lowered. So that's what it takes to be called a Jezebel now.
Not baptizing your kids. You hooer. That's crazy. That is fantastic. Yeah, there's some things, you know. I mean, if I stop and think, but again, most of the time I don't engage with them. If the wife wants me to engage some of these little guys who come by the door, what are they? The Mormon. She wants me to take some of them little Mormons. Come on in, guys, let's talk, and ruin their day. But I just never have taken. Usually, I'm like, oh, there's somebody at the door. So I have not.
I'm telling you, like, if I'm inviting Mormons in, it's about to be a replay of that movie Heretic. That
I haven't seen that.
That old guy from Mickey Blue Eyes was just in.
I have, hey, we got another caller, another hand up. If you want to, do you mind talking to somebody? Yeah.
I don't mind at all, man. I'm loving this.
Philo, let's do this. How do we get you up here? Does Scotty do that? Do I do that? Did I do that? There we are. Philo, how are you doing, Philo?
Did I do that?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to say that I was very fortunate in that I was raised by atheist parents, and I was raised to be a free thinker. So, to any of you folks that were born and raised with this and had this so deeply inculcated into your minds, how you were able to free yourself from it, it just so much respect to you folks. I can't even begin to imagine what that journey is like, especially if you have family members that are not supportive of you. Much respect.
Yeah. Well, I had it pretty easy because really most of my family is kind of just like Christians, Some of them don't talk to me now, but I don't think that's the reason. It's just because I'm a jerk. But I didn't have like Durante probably has a very different set of circumstances. So I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah. Well, I know for sure, like becoming, making the decision to be an atheist and to be unapologetic about it was definitely, it meant rejecting my family in many ways, and everything that I don't want to say that they stood for, that they claimed to stood for it, because my family weren't communal Christians, they were cultural Christians, which means they went to church sometimes, but they did not live by the book. But just the fact of me identifying as this type of label, especially as a black man in the United States, it was incredibly uncomfortable for them. And in order for me to get comfortable in that space, I had to be 100% comfortable with rejecting them and their ideology in the world. And that was a very difficult place to traverse because, I'm sure family is everything for everybody, but as a black man in America, family and church are the cornerstones of your existence. And so when you're at a place where you find it beneficial to walk away from both, it is a scary path. But it has literally been the most beneficial path that I've ever walked in my life, in the sense that it's been a path of clarity where I don't have to pretend that shit is working out. I can know when shit isn't working and when shit is. And that feels really good to me. I just like not to have any illusions.
Mr. Durante, a two-part question for you.
Yeah.
You said you were a pastor, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Question one, how does some of your old congregation feel about that?
Oh, that's a good one.
Question two, I see. And question two, was there a particular moment, a particular sort of epiphany that you had? I don't want to say revelation; that's too trite. Was there an epiphany that you had that started you on this particular journey?
Ooh, great questions. All right, okay. Hooey. So let's kind of start with the first one. Remind me, what was the first one again? Because I had the answer and it went.
Well, as a pastor, Again, forgive my presumption, but I imagine you
Yes.
must have received some negative feedback from some of your former flock.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yes. Okay. So honestly, many of the members of my former congregation are supportive of where I am today. And that is only because of the type of pastor that I was before. I was an urban pastor, which means I definitely lended myself towards the more impoverished communities, the more challenged communities. And so I did always kind of land on the side of grace. And so because of that, there are many of my members, of my former members, who are not shocked about where I am today. And that only also deals with kind of like the hypocrisy of Christianity, because it also highlights the fact that many of them were not true believers, you know, in any sense of the word. Like they never, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you still have a contact and good relations with them to this day?
Yes, I have quite a, like literally, if you listen to like our Sunday sessions, one of the most recent songs we play as our intro, that's my former minister of music who came to my house last month to record that track.
Oh, wow.
Me.
Okay.
That's awesome.
But in many ways, I think it's because for many of them, religion was never about theology. It was about their emotive experience. And so as long as I was providing this performative, emotive experience for them that catered to this specific need, it felt like I had value for them. And so even when I separated from the theology, because they were never 100% sold on the theology, it didn't actually matter to them. It mattered more so to the people on the outside, to the people on the inside, which really speaks to the nuances of religious belief, because religious belief isn't as cut and dry as dogma as we like to believe. And the way that we know that is because you can travel from church to church, from denomination to denomination, and in spite what those beliefs are supposed to say, those individuals have an amalgam of beliefs that often do not match the doctrines that they attach themselves to. And I think that's what I found out with the people that I pastored when I was still a pastor.
Hey, are you still there, Philo?
Still there. As to the second, my second question.
Yep.
Yes. Bring me back, because I've been drinking.
Okay. I was curious as to if there was a particular moment or epiphany or what started you on this journey. Yeah.
There were several
a little
moments.
Explanation. I'm sorry to give you slightly analytical. My father was a professor of cultural anthropology and sociology, and I although I'm not, I still share his interest in these things. So I'm always interested in how people make such what really is a very large life change.
Yeah.
I think
the perfect storm for me, Phil, was the Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin situation was happening at the same time that I was getting my bachelor's degree in social science.
Okay. All right.
That was a hard place to be.
Let me share let me share a joke that you'll appreciate from my father. So my father referred to sociology as the dance of the seven veils, and when the seventh veil is lifted, nothing is revealed.
That is absolutely accurate. Absolutely. Yes. Oh my goodness.
So
you're free to use that one, by the way.
That's awesome. Rich, I want to mention real quick, Richard Madson's in the chat. Richard, there should be a link at the top of the chat that is for, maybe there's a link up there, for the Discord, to get into the Discord if you want to pop in and say some words.
Yeah,
Carry on, Philo. I just want to reach out to, I'm trying to get Richard here into the chat. He's been dying to, it's funny. We'll be doing the morning show. It's funny. Everybody, we're all laughing. You're laughing. And Richard comes in and he goes, hello, I would like to ask you this question. And we've got this 34-part question that I would like you to answer now. I'm like, oh man, really? All right, Richard, come on. Let's answer your question. But I cannot guarantee that I will remember the question, the beginning of the question, by the time you're done asking the end of the question. So, but if you can get in here real quick and get in here and get your question, Richard, we will do the thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mister. Thank you, sirs. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Phil.
Absolutely. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. I'm trying to go easy on Durante and let him out a little early tonight. So.
Oh, no. That's okay. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris knows I've been coughing up a lung all week.
Yes.
I've literally lost 10 pounds this week, Chris.
Oh, wow.
It's been amazing.
That's a lot of lung.
Yeah, yeah. You might only have one left. Yeah. Okay, we'll help you feel better.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Philo. Let's see. I'm just gonna give. Let's see if I don't know if Richard. There's Richard. All right, Richard. So Richard will come up here in a second, and he will ask his question. Richard, can we hear you?
I don't know. Can you?
I hear you now. There you are. And this will be our last caller, if y'all don't mind, and because me and Durante been doing the thing. We're ready to take a. But let's go ahead and get this a try.
Delay? Is that what's going on here?
Only a slight delay, Richard. Can you hear me? You hear me? He may not have his Discord set up correctly for the sound.
Well, Chucky darns.
Discord's a jerk.
This is a reference from a Monk episode.
Chucky, can you hear me now, Richard? Can you hear me now, Richard?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Richard, there's a setting in there you have to.
How do I turn down the background music? Oh, wait a minute.
There's a little music thing you can click down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. It's really loud. Me.
Ooh.
Discord. So down.
You're in the background music.
Yeah, on Discord, background music. So down at the very bottom, there's a music note. Can you mute that?
Yeah, I hit that button. It did absolutely nothing. The music is continuing.
That sucks because the music is most unfortunate.
And it's really loud. I can barely hear you.
Damn, sorry, Richard. That's Discord for you. You want to throw me?
I still have a question though.
Okay.
Yeah, hit us.
How does one justify? Boy, that's annoying when the music's louder than my own voice. How does one justify their judgment of the text of the Bible based on Christianity, which they deny?
I don't know. How do they do that?
But it just seems people do.
Yeah,
and it seems unjustifiable.
Well, in my case, if you want to, man, I wish the sound weren't being a jerk for you, man. In my case, I use the Christian reference to argue against Christianity. That's what I do. I use their own reference. That's my purpose. If you want to ask me from my perspective, how I can justify using the Christian, well, it's not that I believe it. I'm just actually trying to use their own context and their own worldview to kind of expose to them the cracks in it. You know,
I do that myself. I respect that. And I see that is what you do a great portion of the time.
I try.
But isn't it true that the disbelief in Christianity also led you to disbelieve the Bible?
I guess you could say that. Well, I see them as being one and the same. Well, and partly though, it was cracks in the Old Testament, the Bible, that started some of my questioning of Christianity. I don't know how you would separate the two from my perspective. Again, I was a really light Christian. The Bible is Christianity, but it's not, right? We know it's not, but I'm just saying the way I was raised, so light a Christian that I don't really put much stock in the separation of the two.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, let me state it another way.
Okay, try that.
So we know that there are several Christian denominations. We also know that's an understatement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't even agree with each other on what the text means.
Okay.
Right?
True.
We can all three agree with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So since they aren't even coherent and cogent within themselves, why and it's not what they express is not cogent in reality. Why should I use their reading frame, any of them, to read the Bible? Let me put it in a parable. Let's say I knew nothing of mathematics,
right?
But I'd heard of mathematics through my culture. So I go to a mathematics teacher, i.e., a preacher, right? And I say to him, please explain to me mathematics. And everything he says, I try, and it doesn't work in reality. I pray in Jesus' name, my cousin doesn't get healed of cancer, etc., 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 right?
Got that.
So should I throw away the idea of learning mathematics, or should I switch teachers?
Well, that's a great question. I just don't know that that's a question I can answer, only because, I mean, you're asking for why why would they want to, the thing I would say don't. Don't.
Right,
do not.
But what if mathematics is actually valuable?
But Christian religion isn't valuable. And
how do you know that based on your understanding of it, based in Christianity?
I've seen 2,000 years of Christians unalive each other en masse based on this text. I've seen them kill everybody and their dog. I've seen them lie and cheat. They cast their own sins upon other people. And we sit here and you talk about how do you address them based on their own different individual sections. Well, hell, you just got to adjust and go, you're battling an entire different group of people. Whenever a Catholic comes up to me, I don't go, oh, well, this is how, I don't go, Muhammad was bad, blah, 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 blah. No, I adjust. I go, this is a Catholic. This is how I have to adjust. Because you're right. There are so many different ones. Now, I think if you're trying to pin me down as to how I can justify defending or arguing against Christianity from any specific point within Christianity, I don't have to do it from any. I mean, yeah, I can come at it from every.
That's not what I'm saying at all. You've already clarified that.
Okay, gotcha. I want to make sure
what I'm saying is, if my math tutor, or i.e. a Christian,
religion, this is not even the same. It's a bad comparison. You are absolutely failing, Richard, by trying to compare math to. And here's why I'll do this, because
then I won't use a story.
Well, no, the reason why is because math works, dude. It really does work. If your math teacher is a bad teacher, if he's not showing you the right message, you're kind of going on the presumption that there's going to be a Christian message that works, but they don't.
Yes,
none of them work.
There
if
is.
they did. If it did work, they'd be taking their message from church to church. I mean, from hospital to hospital to hospital, healing all these people. It would be a unified message. All of Christianity would understand it. We wouldn't need a whole about 15,000 different versions of Christianity if it were the holy message of the Word of God. Now, I remember every time I discuss with you, you have this notion, and please always forgive me for getting it wrong. I know I oversimplify, but your notion is this ancient text has got this triple interpreted, 3 times converted through this one person. If you finally understand that one message, you understand the true nature of God. And I just don't buy that, dude. I just don't buy it. If you have to go to ancient text, translate those ancient texts, have some pastor explain it to you, it is not the perfect word of a perfect loving God. And how,
well, I mean, like if you have to go to an ancient text, you're no longer dealing with an omnipresent God. If you're going to an ancient text, you're dealing with a past voice, which means you're no longer dealing with a present deity. So if we're not dealing with a present deity, then there's no, if there's a present deity, there's no need for an ancient text. So the moment there's a need for an ancient text, you've already ruled out the possibility of there being any deity. There is a God who exists. We don't need the word of people who existed 3,500 years ago, because the God would still exist to perpetuate its own word.
I think I've got something.
That's a relatively fair argument. Peace and respect to you, Durante, and I appreciate that idea.
I want to give you a whole minute here, Richard, because I've seen these other shows where the caller just keeps getting interrupted by the host. No offense to the host, we get passionate. And I saw one of them that they took this opportunity. They're like, listen, man, I'm going to give you a whole minute. I'm going to watch my clock. I'm going to give you a whole minute to talk uninterrupted so you can clarify, because I'm sure I almost certainly misunderstood where you're going, Richard. I want to be fair. So go.
There are gaps in what I'm trying to profess and what you've said I'm trying to profess. There are gaps.
Okay.
Yes.
But they're relatively minor. I think the overall point I'd like to make just from the start to establish that I'm not your average Christian. I don't support what they have to say about the text of the Bible, is only that I can't justify disposing of the Bible based on people's opinions of it when those people don't make sense against reality, where there's a reading frame of the Bible that does.
Interesting.
Okay. Is there a group of people that believe the way you do, or are you the only person that believes this way?
I can't meet everyone, of course.
Of course.
There's just too many of us out there, and communication's not that good across the planet.
That is
but
true.
Of the people I've met, there's 40 people or so that have adopted this reading frame and use it and no longer need any assistance or coaching and understanding.
Now,
can I be honest?
Why did they need that reading frame? If
You mean you were lying before?
just like in response to what you're saying, because like what you just said, I know it sounds like something to you. You said, I now people who read this and they no longer need the reading frame they needed before. If I'm being honest, that shit means absolutely nothing.
Right. If I
because
go ahead.
This book is like, it's already been proven outdated. It's already been proven wrong. So in order for you to create a different framing of this book, that means you'd absolutely have to reinterpret it in a way that it is not written. In other words, you're just making shit up that makes you feel better, not actually attaching to something that's actually true. And the thing that I often attach people to when you're dealing with truth, you're not just dealing with something that makes you feel better, but what can you actually build on this, right? So people will attach themselves to the Bible and they'll say, well, this thing, when I reframe it this way, I feel like it's true. But my thing about that truth is then what can you build on it, right? So when we talk about scientific truth, when we talk about mathematics, when we talk about science, the things that we can build on those things are engineering, are architecture. I'm absolutely sure that you are. Because
the music's a little distracting.
Knowledge is not
as you are.
Hey, if I may.
Knowledge is not just meant to be something that we pontificate upon. Knowledge is meant to be something that we can build on for the utility of other people. And if we can't build on it for the utility of other people, what good is it if it just makes ourselves feel better about the world?
Right. There's about 3 hidden assumptions there that I'm tracking, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep track of all of them very well.
Richard.
It's not based on my feelings. It's based on scientific fact. It would and can and does help people in real life, and it's not based whatsoever on my feelings.
I want to say,
no, I didn't invent something to make myself feel good. That's just not so. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was going to say, you might close Discord, go down in your system tray and close it there too, and then open it back up and see if you can get rid of that sound.
You gentlemen have been more than kind to me, and I appreciate the ability to come up at all.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll need to finish this conversation, Richard, because we've started many and we've never finished any.
This isn't even the conversation you and I promised each other. The conversation you and I promised each other was concerning this morning, and the idea that these ancient stories are describing what essentially could be called an alien invasion.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That's a fun conversation. I have to say, although I mean, Richard has got some fascinating interpretations of the Bible.
No, I don't.
I'm not like,
Yeah,
I love
I think so.
speculation. I do
There
love
you go.
speculation. Like, I'm a fiction author, so that shit,
That's right.
it's right up my.
Let me give you an example, Durante, what I'm saying. And my patience level for the music is about exhausted. So let me just do this
Understood.
real quick, and then I'm going to go. All right.
Yeah.
So the Hebrew words would mean to create with breath or nothing or from nothing. But there's no such word kada anywhere in the Old Testament whatsoever, or in the New Testament for that matter. But the creation narrative, of course, is Old Testament stuff. So when Christians say God created ex nihilo with just speaking, they have absolutely no justification for that, because the word bara means to reform and repurpose something, that kind of creation. Now, the word bara is there, but kada is not.
All right. Now, I like the approach you're taking there from a speculative approach. But do you also realize that that's not how science works?
What do you mean it's not how science works? It's not a scientific claim.
I mean, it is a scientific claim if we're talking about reality.
Well, no, it's not a scientific claim. When what it's claiming within itself in an internal critique is that the planet was reformed and repurposed. Okay,
Which
now
would be a
that's
claim
not a
about
scientific.
reality.
It would be
If
a
that's
claim
cla-
on
if you're
reality.
claiming that's to be true, that would be a claim about reality, and therefore would be a scientific claim. And you don't take scientific claim literary situation. And so because you take an ancient book and say this word means this, that's not how you get a claim about reality. So
But I
if we're
wasn't even trying to make a
speculation-
claim on reality. I was only trying to say
Okay.
that the Christian traditional reading of the text is provably incorrect.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's clear. The simple fact that the Christians believe that Jesus is a Messiah demonstrates that the Christian interpretation of the text is incorrect.
I'm not sure what you mean by Messiah. If you take the ancient Hebrew idea of a Messiah, it might be a normal
And
person
Jesus
who's a
Christ
great
could no
warlord.
way be the Messiah.
What's that?
Jesus Christ could no way be a Messiah because he died. The Messiah couldn't die
Right,
according
by
to
their
Jewish
judgment, he shouldn't.
text.
Right,
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
And he failed in his mission too. So
Yep.
In fact, it would be a huge failure if the Christians understood it correctly, as they espouse. It would have been a gigantic failure.
Yes.
I mean, let's go a standard. I think Southern Baptist in several circles, 144,000 are saved. Well, with a population of 8 billion, what's God's score there?
Right.
It's not great. It's not a winning scenario.
I mean, that's an F. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, guys. I can't take the music anymore. But I thank you so much for your time. Hope to talk to you again later when it's
We'll figure
quieter
this
in the
out.
background.
Yes, we'll figure this
We
out.
definitely appreciate you, Demolish. Thank you.
Yeah, Richard's fun. I mean, Richard, I always enjoy talking to Richard. It's always at the wrong. It never works out right. Okay, man, I'm going to wrap it up so we can go. Let me read my super chats here as I like to do for my people. And then we're going to thank you for holding out a couple hours with me here. Welcome, Tiger
Yes,
Shark
sir.
is a channel supporter. Pragmatic Humanist, which is Idiot Test, became a channel supporter, re-upped, I believe. Raven Lunatic gave $5 and said, congrats on a great show. Happy birthday, Chris. That's me, the amazing Super Chris. I'm going to go get in there and get some more of my cake. Well done on all the subscribers. 5,000. I'm almost to 5,100. And Kalasia was out there picking on me the other day. I was like, we're going to have a 5,000 subscriber party. And Kalasia's like, I'm looking, you ain't got no 5,000 subscribers. I'm like, well, I plan to have. So he did. And Robin Webster became a member and said, my birthday is in May, but thanks. So thank you for becoming a bronze level member. I very much appreciate you. Man, oh, wait, I forgot to read the rest of this. Congrats on a great show. Happy birthday, Chris. Well done on all the subscribers, Durante and Chris. Best duo on a screen since JD and the Turk.
Yeah.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Told you, man.
All right, you guys, you are wonderful. Thank you all. Let's see. Richard, the music was on Discord. Yeah, no. You were great, man. I'm sorry the music was because fucked up everything. You guys have a wonderful
It's
night.
Discord.
It's Discord. All right, guys, I'm off to save the world. Y'all have a great night. Sin safely, my friends. Oh, wait. We got Jesse Bear has become a member again. Thank you, Jesse Bear. All right, guys.
Ooh, yes.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you, and have a great day.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plain. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the